Hi everyone, Mary Lou from Aloha Canine Training. So I just wanted to give you guys some tips on how to entertain your dog during these frigid temperatures. We are in the minus 30s in Regina in Saskatchewan right now. With a wind chill, we're getting into the minus 40s. So it's awfully cold and it's really hard to take your dog out in this kind of weather. So what can you do to keep your dog happy and entertained, especially if you have a young, high energy dog? You can hear Champ in the background. I'm babysitting him over the Christmas holidays, and he's a 1-year-old Shepherd Rottie Lab mix, we think. He's super high energy, and so what I did this week, because I couldn't take him out, I think I got him out twice to walk him, and then the temperatures just got too cold. So what I did is I taught him how to search. I'm going to throw a little clip of that, some videos I took of him. He is amazing at it. And I'll throw that in this video clip as well, but I just wanted to give you some other ideas, okay? So the first thing you can do is get yourself a food puzzle. So I've got a couple here. So this is one, it's actually made out of MDF, so it can get kind of wet and nasty, but I've had this for a good, I don't know, 15 years. And it works pretty good, okay? You're just gonna there's 3 slots in here, put a treat in a couple of those slots, and then your dog has to move these around to get them. Now this one is a little more challenging. We've got, right, this little dial here, so if the dog figures out to use its paw and move these little dials, okay, the thing will open and it'll pop up. Now, my lab would just get really frustrated and just pick this up and toss it once she got the treats out of this one. Okay, so your dog might find a way to do that way, but great little tool. Okay, here's another one that I have. It's a star. So what you're gonna do is put treats in all these little guys, right? Put it up, and then you close it up, and your dog's gonna have to use its nose to open it, all right? And it kind of pushes it around. If it's on the carpet, it's really easy for them to get it, so you might want to sit there, and if they open it, and they can just sit here if they're that smart, and they'll just take the treats out of each star. I just like to close it up on them. They open it, I close it again once they get a treat out, okay? So they have to actually work a little bit harder to get the treats out of here. Dog food puzzles or dog puzzles, they're gonna run you anywhere from about, I'd say $25 to $50, maybe $60, depending what you get. Now there's some with loose pieces, some with like little loose plastic bones. Those aren't my favorite, especially if I have a really young dog, because they're probably gonna just take them and chew them, okay? So again, these things have to be used with supervision. I love these ones because there's no loose parts, nothing can come out of them, okay? So food puzzles, great tool. And it's an investment. So yeah, you might be spending a little extra money on it, but it's gonna last you years. Both of these I've had for, like I said, about 15 or 16 years, all right? And I had 4 very big dogs. The next thing you can do is use a Kong, okay? So a Kong, if you guys aren't familiar with these, it's this sort of a beehive shaped toy, okay? It's got 2 holes on either end, which will make sure that as your dog's trying to get the treat out, it's not gonna get like their tongue suction into there. You do wanna be careful, don't, plug this up too tight that your dog could get its tongue suction. Again, use these with supervision. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna stick any kind of treats in here. You can put your dog's food in here. You can put yogurt, applesauce, blueberries, peanut butter is my favorite. You can just use the peanut butter straight, okay, out of the jar, or you can also freeze, right? So if you're using yogurt or something a little bit more runny, maybe just pop it in the freezer for a couple hours before you give it out. Now, I also like to use the food roll that I use when I'm training. It's called Roll Over, and you can buy it at Walmart, Sobeys, Safeway. It is the only thing that I will actually buy for dogs from a grocery store, okay? So, but what you wanna do with that is you're gonna chop it up into chunks and squeeze it in. It's really soft. You push it in here really tight and compact, and it's gonna take your dog a while to figure out how to get all the food out of here, okay? So these come in all shapes and sizes, even come in tiny little wee ones for little guys. You don't have to fill it all the way up. Just make sure though, get yourself a good scrub brush, okay? And clean in here really good, okay? Once your dog is done with it. You don't want any, peanut butter or yogurt or something sitting in here and getting bacteria over time, okay? So give it a little soak. Give it a good scrub with a good like bottle scrub brush. I actually found one years ago that's made for these, but they don't sell them anymore, but it's actually in the Kong shape. It's perfect for these. So I hold that very close. It's very special. But if you don't have that, obviously just use a regular scrub brush bottle, okay? Now, something about peanut butter, okay, or stuffing these, all right? Now, they do make, okay, this little Kong stuffing. Now, it's peanut butter flavor. Okay, I want to read you guys something. Okay, first off, what I use is peanut butter, human grade peanut butter, straight out of the jar. Now, you can go to a pet store and get dog peanut butter, but guess what? It's exactly the same thing. They're just going to mark it up like 3 times the price, okay? So the key to this, you guys, is the ingredients, okay? Only peanuts, literally. Look at the ingredients, peanuts. That's it. That's all that's in here. That's it, okay? So I know what my dog is getting. No salt, no extra oils, okay? The oil that's in here is just naturally separated from the peanuts. But because it separates, it's not going in the Kong, okay? So your dog's not getting a ton of extra fat. Now, with this one, and I'm not bashing Kong, okay? But I just want to show you the difference, okay? This one's got, peanut butter's got 1 ingredient, okay? This one has 20, so I'm just going to read them off to you. Milk, water, soybean oil, whey, sodium phosphate, whey protein concentrate, carrageenan, which is a thickening agent. Salt, sodium citrate, which is another salt. So we've got 2 kinds of salt in here. Natural flavor, which said to get the peanut butter flavor. Okay, so there's peanut butter flavoring. Dried milk protein, glucano delta lactone. That's the first time I've ever actually heard of that, and it's a leveling agent. Sorbic acid, lactic acid, caramel color to get the peanut butter color, paprika, annatto extracts, dried lacto, I can never say the lactobacillus, this whatever, it's a, I can never say it. Anyways, acidophilus, okay? Lactose fermentation product, not sure what that is, and rennet, which is enzymes that curdle the casein that's in milk, so a milk curdling agent. There is no peanut butter and no peanuts in this. Okay, so I always look at what I'm feeding my dogs. Less is more when it comes to ingredients for food for my guys, whether I'm giving them treats or the regular food, okay? They eat raw food, so obviously less is more there as well. But yeah, you know what? I'm gonna spend the, I don't know, maybe this is $8-9.99. Okay, it's a little bit more expensive to get the healthy stuff. But again, I know what my dogs are eating, okay? So what I do, this is mine, the dog one is still in the cupboard. But I actually, when I open one for the dogs, because I'm, putting my spoon into the Kong or the knife, whatever I'm using, and then I'm putting it back in here, I don't want to eat that. So I label it with the letter K, the number 9, okay? I label it K9, so I know this is now officially the dog's peanut butter, and I don't use it for anything else but their Kongs, okay? And they go crazy for it, okay? Now, another thing you could do, they make all sorts of kind of food balls and toys. So this is one that you're gonna just put a bunch of treats in there, and then when they roll it around, the treats come out, okay? And they're happy as can be. But again, they're working for food. So you can actually feed your dog with food balls. There's a million different kinds. They're amazing. So all you're gonna do is, like I said, put their kibble and stuff in there. You can throw some extra treats in there that maybe are a little bit bigger than the kibble, so it doesn't just fall out real easy, make it a little more challenging for them, and feed their meals that way, okay? So now they're working a little bit harder to get their food, all right? Great tool. Now, another fun one, okay, is if you don't want to go spend, the $50 on a food puzzle, and I mean, hey, we just had Christmas, I don't blame you, okay? Use muffin tin, okay? If you don't have one, go to the dollar store. Don't spend an arm and a leg, you guys. Don't use your good one, okay? But just go grab a cheapy muffin tin. Grab yourself, while you're at the dollar store, a bunch of tennis balls, okay? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna put treats inside the muffin tin, okay? I get these at the dollar store as well. Only thing I'll buy from the dollar store, but these are basically literally just freeze-dried liver. There's no other ingredients in it, okay? Actually, this one I think has vitamin E as a preservative, but yeah, it's fantastic. No, this one is actually just freeze-dried liver. Okay, so what I would do is pop a treat in my muffin tin, okay? Put the tennis ball over top. Treat in the muffin tin, tennis ball over top. Now you'll obviously get enough balls, okay, for each tin. So I've got a bunch of different random balls here. They don't all have to be tennis balls, but these are all ones I have on hand, okay? So I can use anything, right? I mean, literally, this one has a rope on it. I could even use that, okay? I could even use a Kong, all right? So I'm just gonna put treats in there, okay? Boom. Put it on the floor. The dog has to use its nose and lift the toys, the balls out of there to get the treat, okay? Now, when your dog gets good at it, instead of putting a treat in every one, maybe just do them randomly, okay? So I've got 12 spots here. Maybe I only put 6 or 8 treats in there, okay? So then I have to work harder, but I put all the balls in there, all right? So just making it a little bit more challenging. When your dog gets really good, maybe you just put 1 in there, okay? And see if they can just find it, right? Like the mixing matchup game, right? Just find that one spot that one treat is hidden in, okay? So that's another fun thing to do. Okay, and then last but not least, here, if I could find them. Another little trick you can do. Bruno's probably wondering why I didn't let him play the game, but now with Bruno, for example, he's just a little guy, so I mean, he's pretty voracious. He would probably do this. Maybe I'll have him do it here in a second. But you can get mini muffin tins and you can get little mini balls. He has a whole toy box full of little mini balls that are his size. So I could just use those, okay, in a small little muffin tin. Okay, now the last thing that I'm going to show you, again, I'm just using stuff I have on hand. This is a random, quick little video. But what you could do is grab yourself some plastic cups, okay? So now I would use like a red Solo cup or something, or any color Solo cup, maybe even a styrofoam cup, something solid in color. These ones are see-through, so if I put the treat down, it's gonna be pretty obvious for my dog to find it, okay? They're, you know, as smart as we know they are, okay? I've got 3 cups. I can put, right, a couple treats under there. Boom, boom. Maybe leave one blank. Mix them up in front of my dog, okay? In the beginning, to help your dog out, you can poke a hole in the top of them so they can actually use their nose a little bit, because when your cup is on the ground, that's containing all the odor. And if your dog is just starting to learn how to use its nose, it's gonna make it a little bit more difficult. Now, the key with all of these kind of searching games like this one is you want your dog to win and be successful. Good boy, champ. He can smell the treats. You want your dog to be successful, okay? So we don't want to make it too difficult. So in the beginning, maybe poke a hole in the cups that you're going to have treats under. Maybe mark those cups so you know, right? And then have your dog sniff, and maybe they'll knock it over with their nose and reveal the treat, okay? Or maybe they'll paw at it. You can lift it. Boom, they can have that treat, okay? So again, using a solid colored cup. Don't use see-through one. Shh, it's okay, buddy. I just have him in his crate while I'm doing this video, and he's not happy. But that's a great little fun game. Now, as they get better, you can add more and more cups, right? And use less treats, okay? So, cool, fun little trick that you can use. You know, you could find different containers or things that you could use. Doesn't have to be a cup like this, but we usually have lots of those on hand, especially after we have holidays. So definitely tons of things that we can do. Here you go, baby. Yeah, hopefully that'll help keep your dog a little bit more entertained. Good job. Very good. So Champ is still working hard on this. It's actually been quite of a challenge for him, which is pretty awesome. But one thing I forgot to mention, I just wanted to pop back in, Snuffle mats. If you guys have ever heard of a Snuffle mat, it is a little mat, okay? They come in all different sizes, and a lot of people make them locally, so you can probably find them. But they just take material and tie, there's a way they tie it, bunch of material in a mat that has a bunch of holes in it. And basically you end up with all these, you know, little pieces of material. So then you take your dog's kibble or some treats and you just, you know, kind of just rub it into the mat, okay? And the treats get all buried, and then your dog again has to snuffle, okay? Use its nose and sniff around in the ruffles, I guess, and get the treats out of it. So Snuffle mats are another great thing to try with your dog. Good Champ, go here. He hasn't given up. Here's a quick little video of Champ searching for toys. I will post a better, longer, more detailed video on how to train your dog to search for toys, but here's a fun little clip to watch so you can see what you can do. Good boy. Yeah, buddy! Good boy! Did you get it? Did you get it? Yeah, good. So there you go, you guys. I hope those tips help you and your pups get through some of these cold days up ahead. And feel free to post some videos or add some of your own ideas in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.